Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria Derbedrossian. أود أن أفتتح بالاعتراف بالجاديجلز الذين هم الأوصياء التقليدية لهذه الأرض. كما أريد أن أعبر عن تقديري لشعب أورا القدامى والحاليين. كما أريد أن أشمل بهذا الصدد بالذكر السكان الأصليين الأبوريجينالز وسكان مضيق توريس الحاليين. For those who are non-Arabic speakers, I just performed an acknowledgement of country, one of many things that I have learned since arriving in Australia. I came to Australia in 2015 with my husband Mihran and two sons, Anto, who just turned 18 2 days ago, and Saro, who is 16 years old. Both currently go to high school in Ingleside. They are in year 11 and year 12. We were able to come to Australia after being sponsored by a humanitarian visa by childhood friend of my husband. We are members of Armenian community of Syria, which is minority. We were peacefully living in our hometown Aleppo in Syria until the civil war started in 2011. We had everything we needed for a comfortable life. A beautiful home. My husband was a jeweler, and he has his own workshop where he used to design rings, bracelets, and earrings. And also he had his own retail store in the CBD. We were surrounded with our family, relatives, and lots of friends. The war changed everything. Nothing was the same anymore. The first change was that my husband no longer could go to his retail store, which was in the CBD, and became occupied by the terrorist groups like Islamic State, Jabhat al-Nusra, and other militant groups. Buildings in the CBD were looted, then torched, and snipers occupied building tops. Not even the Syrian army could reach that area. And after that, many suburbs were occupied, as soon was the airport. For many months of a time, there was no electricity, water, and internet. We became reliant on gas bottles and bottled water. The situation even became worse and worse, and still like that until today. We made our best to continue our lives as normal, hoping the end of the war. The boys still went to school. My husband and I donated our time to preparing relief kits for those who had lost everything. We were lucky. We at least had our home. I always prayed we would be fine, but honestly, I was feeling so unsafe, especially for my kids. The terrorist groups used to fire and throw mortars randomly everywhere, every day. And in 2014, my home was damaged by one of them. I was at home alone at the moment. It just happened in a second. And I was totally covered in glass and dust. The kitchen and the boys' bedroom was destroyed. I was very horrified. I rang my husband, who was volunteering. He had already heard the blast. Although I was very thankful and grateful to God, so the boys weren't at home at the moment, and so they didn't get hurt. At that day, my husband and me made the most difficult decision of our lives. We decided to leave the country and seek a safe shelter for us, but especially for our children. To leave Aleppo, we had to take a bus journey to the border. As I said, the airport was occupied. It was too long and very dangerous trip, as roads were often targets for attacks. After about 20 hours, we reached the border. We was so relieved that we could get there safely. Then, in Lebanon, we applied for the Australian humanitarian visa. A pilot system was called, and we stayed in Lebanon 6 months, waiting the visa to be finalized. On 13 February 2015, we arrived in Sydney. My first feeling was loss. I was 44 years old, and I had to start my life again. The Australian government assisted us with some financial support, and that was very much appreciated. We were able to rent a house in Ryde, and after 2 days, the boys started school. And my husband found a part-time job in petrol station after 1 month, and he still works there, but he dreams to get a better opportunity where he can use his skills and experience. And about me, I started to worry about finding a job myself. I am a software engineer with over 20 years experience. I have diverse work experience across ICT. I worked at databases, software development, sales, and even teaching. You all know that finding a job is not that easy at all, especially when you are new to the Australian workplace. I lacked confidence. Everyone was telling me about the importance of having an Australian local experience, which I didn't have yet. It was the perfect timing when one of my friends introduced me to CareerSeekers. And after a few months of preparation, they put me forward to an internship in Telstra. And the 12 weeks which I spent at Telstra gave me hands-on experience in my industry. I had developed a network of support, and I have been able to see how well my skills were transferred to the Australian environment. And over those 12 weeks, we were able to live off my earnings rather than Centrelink or the savings we could bring with us. And the most important thing, that I have a payslip, so I can apply for anything as a guarantee if I wish. So I would like to invest this opportunity to say thanks to Telstra for the opportunity, and especially for my managers, and to CareerSeekers. I would express my deepest gratefulness to them. They are very kind and professional. Wishing them all the best of success and prosperity in their meaningful mission. You know, 5 years ago, I would never have imagined that something like this would happen to us. Yet, I'm just one of millions of Syrians who had lost everything and whose destiny has changed forever. I really hope no one is forced to experience the darkness of war. But life is life, and no one can predict the future. Finally, I would close with a word to those who have authority in their positions, particularly in big companies. Please, provide refugees and asylum seekers a fair chance and an opportunity of employment. The sooner we settle down, the easier it gets to heal our emotional pain and to forget our sufferings. Enable us to contribute to building tomorrow's Australia. Thank you.